Hello and welcome to InvestorToday.ca. I'm Dave Glover, your host. InvestorToday.ca is brought to you in conjunction with RBL Communications. Today is Tuesday, the 7th of February, and I am with Mr. Rick Mark, who is the CEO and Chairman of North American Nickel. North American Nickel, which trades on the TSX under the symbol NAN. Rick, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Dave. My pleasure.
You know, we just sat through your presentation, which was very informative, and I would urge anyone who is checking out this video, by the way, to go to the North American Nickel website. You can check out the PowerPoint yourself for all the details. But you're in Toronto right now, and you're doing the street, as they like to say.
Marketing the public company is part of the public company's responsibility to the shareholders. We've had a great day. First day.
That's wonderful. Now you've got a couple more days left, and you're talking about the story. What is the story of North American Nickel? Can you tell the viewers?
Well, right now we're marketing a project called the Monitsauk Project in Greenland, and remarkably, Dave, it's 75 kilometers long and 15 kilometers wide. It's been looked at before, which is not uncommon in the story of discovery. Last by major companies Cameco and Falconbridge around the time of Voisey's Bay. Turns out Greenland and Newfoundland were once connected, so they had a reason to be there, but they didn't have the technology that we have today to look below the surface. It's a nickel story, it's a nickel sulfide story, and people have been very impressed today with the opportunity that it presents for shareholders.
Well, and those of you that will go to the website and check out the size and scale of this, if you can imagine the size and scale of Sudbury here in Northern Ontario, the nickel belt in Sudbury, if you will, and then you can look at the project at Monitsauk and see that they're basically the same size, aren't they?
Incredibly, it's true. And so, you know, from a stock promoter's point of view, from somebody who's wondering, why do I look at investing in such a company? I think as you read through the presentation, you'll see the management is strong, the technical team is strong. The opportunity is remarkable, and this is simply a matter that this large belt has not been able to be explored properly until today's technology, helicopter-borne technology, as a matter of fact, established drill targets. So we now have clarified it works, we have drill targets, and we'll be drilling the targets this summer.
And that's incredible for those of you that know junior mining. I mean, you're 6 months basically from the time of acquisition, if you will, right to locating your drill target.
Well, and again, good graces, this project was drilled. There was about today's money, $3 million spent on drilling. Cameco spent about $7 million on flying. Falconbridge then looked at all of that data. They looked at all of the drill core data. All of that is available to North American Nickel. And in the last 6 months, our chief geologist, John Pattison, who spent 18 years with Falconbridge and knows what to look for a nickel camp, has had the opportunity to look aggressively through all of that information and made it very clear to us that he just needed the helicopter-borne technology. We picked, Dave, only 8% of the land. We flew it in the fall. We've now taken not only today's technology, but today's computer power, if you can imagine, the computer developments in the last 17 years and apply them to the science of geology, and it helps. And so now we've got an opportunity, as we released last Tuesday, to look at specific sizable drill targets. Very exciting. The size of these suggests that there could be nickel sulfide deposits that are going to be big enough to make something happen in Greenland. We're very excited about it.
So obviously the hope for North American Nickel is to have a project on the size and scope of Sudbury.
Well, it's a dream, let's face it, but the interesting thing is the nickel occurrences run all the way up the 75 kilometers. Something called nickel tenor. Again, if you take a look at the PowerPoint, John Pattison describes it as effectively the strength or the grade of the nickel. It turns out the nickel tenor looks very good and favorable across the whole belt. So when we finish the day, we go back to dreaming that Sudbury is possible. We'll start with one discovery, but I think if we look at Voisey's Bay as an example, and people remember the neighborhood plays and the money that people made on the neighborhood plays, we own the neighborhood here. Exactly. So we think a discovery in the Monitsauk project in Greenland will literally capture the world's attention, and we're looking forward to that.
And that's great news for any of you interested in looking at North American Nickel. Again, as I said, it trades as NAN on the TSX. I want to thank Mr. Rick Mark for joining us and for allowing us to be here for your presentation. It was a great thing. And I would encourage anyone who's interested, seriously, to go to their website and check out their PowerPoint presentation. Very informative. Thanks again. I'm Dave Glover with InvestorToday.ca. We'll see you next time.